Yo, what's going on? This Dead Boy Fred. Welcome back to another video. And I know it's been an extremely long time, about a little bit over a month since I last uploaded. I said I was gonna go crazy on the uploads, and time and a lot of other stuff just got to me, and I got extremely busy over these past December and early January. But luckily I'm back now, and we're coming back with the banger. We're having Shinra from Fire Force versus Luffy from One Piece, of course. And this is a very heated debate that I've seen people go back and forth on, so I'm gonna give my opinion on it, of course, as always. So before we get into this video, I want to appreciate you guys for supporting the channel while I was gone and all this time, but we're still looking for that 250 goal, and of course we're always knocking at the 300 goal. So with all that out the way, let's get straight into the video. All right, now getting straight into this fight, with Shinra and Monkey D. Luffy, I feel that these fights can definitely be played out extremely easy. And personally, I feel like this fight is a lot easier to dissect than most people make it seem. So I'm going to start off by breaking it down first in speed, and then their, striking power, destructive capability, AP, all that. And then I'm going to go into how I feel the fight will show off. Now, starting off with speed, as we all know, Shinra is an extremely fast fighter, and that is mostly his whole thing is speed. Now, for the most part, as we all know, in season 1 or in the early chapters of Fire Force, Shinra was stated to be roughly around light speed, and actually able to be even faster than that, probably FTL plus, considering the fact that he can go so fast that he could go in the past. And so with that, a lot of people like to try and debunk it and say that, well, he needed the grace or he needed a Dola link. But now in the later chapters in the manga, not including the most recent chapters where he's fused with Sho and his mom, basically, oh sorry, that was a spoiler alert, but hey, you clicked on the video, should have known that. But basically, Shinra probably no longer needs the grace or Adola links to do such a thing. He only needs his Adola burst, and now he could probably with ease go into that light speed, or even going to an immeasurable amount of speed. And so roughly that's where I'm going to put Shinra. Because personally, I've always believed he has immeasurable speed. If you disagree, that's you. But to me, considering the fact that Shinra was able to move in a stop dimension of time, and shows universe where he stopped time, and Shinra was able to casually figure out how to now increase his body speed to go fast enough to the point where he can fight Sho and then stop the world. Now in the manga, he is definitely significantly faster than what he was, especially with things like Rapid and Hellfire and all these other things that he can now use. Shinra was definitely a lot faster, and in my opinion should be placed roughly around immeasurable speed. But of course, like I said, if you disagree, that's you. Now moving on to Luffy. Now I've been known, well, I wouldn't say I've been known, but I have come to the conclusion that I have downplayed One Piece's speed and maybe their power just a little bit, but predominantly their speed in the past. So to be honest with you, with not many feats here, I'm sorry that I didn't provide a lot. One Piece's speed feats are I'm still trying to, get a lot better at them before I fully come out here and just break down all the reasons. But from what I can get, Luffy should be around FTL to FTL plus, basically by small feats like him dodging Kuma's light beams when he came back at Sabati, or even post time skip Luffy being able to dodge Foxy's beams, or even post time skip Zoro being able to dodge Kuma's light beams. And you stack Luffy's gears and all the amounts of power he's getting on top of this, and him getting just significantly stronger over time, then yes, he should be at least FTL plus at this point in time. Now moving on into these characters and how much damage they can really put out, basically I feel that I'm gonna go with Luffy first because his is a lot simpler to get out. Then I'll talk about Shinra's. Luffy, in my opinion, should be anywhere from multi-continental to planetary. And I've seen some people be able to lift him all the way up to star level, but I personally don't put Luffy up that high. I cannot find enough feats to put him up to star level. I feel like there's more feats for characters like Naruto and Ichigo to be put up that high, and Ichigo to even be put higher than Luffy. I just don't feel is that high, but planetary is a doable place for him. But I still personally would go with multi-continental, and here's the reason why you could go with multi-continental or planetary. Either one, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't change too much. Now basically Luffy in the more recent chapters of the manga, which around when I'm recording this should be around 1037, 1038, one of the two, I can't remember. Luffy is fighting roughly on par with Kaido. I would not say he's complete equal to Kaido, but he is roughly in the range of where Kaido's strength is, personally, in my opinion. And so, as we all know, Kaido is the world's strongest beast. In a one-on-one fight, you should always bet on Kaido. And if you take those statements like that into consideration, then that means that even though when Whitebeard was alive and him being the strongest man in the world is what people kept stating, that means Kaido had to be somewhat relevant to Whitebeard. Of course, since he's also an Emperor of the Sea, he has to be relevant to Whitebeard. So he has to be close enough to Whitebeard to the point where you can scale Kaido and Whitebeard almost neck and neck. And if you take Sengoku's statement of Whitebeard having the power to destroy the world, then you could push that up to a planetary feat. And if so, then you can get Kaido maybe up to a planetary feat, a planetary character as well. And while, like I just said, Luffy being relevant to Kaido, who is relevant to Whitebeard, and there's not too much gap difference between all these characters, then you could knock him up to planetary. But if you're not really one of those people like I am who don't really fully grasp that one, that's okay, because I more so will put Luffy at multi-continental anyway, because I don't believe that scaling is fully as accurate as people have made it seem. And I've seen a lot of people actually use arguments like that. So yeah, I'm putting Luffy at multi-continental. Now Shinra, on the other hand, now in the manga around 274, 273, somewhere in that range, Fairy, a pillar, basically manipulated the gravitational force of the moon and proceeded to make the moon, to break it down in simpler terms, because if I try and break it down in the hardest term, I'm going to fumble. So to break it down into the simplest term, Fairy basically upped the gravitational force of the moon, which basically then made it to where the Earth and the moon, with his power, was going to start to come together, because the gravitational force on the moon was slowly starting to pull the Earth towards it, because now the moon is basically stronger and more gravitational and just flat out more durable than what the Earth is. So basically, the moon is far stronger than what the Earth is right now by this gravitational amp that he's adding. And so now, while it looks to everyone as if the moon is falling on the Earth, it really is vice versa, as the Earth is falling, well, is being pulled basically closer to the moon. And with this gravitational force amp, Shinra basically decides to speed blitz up there to the moon and basically kick it with one foot casually, and proceeds to stop this moon from, having a gravitational pull to pull the Earth closer to it. So he basically just cuts in between the gravitational pull of the Earth and the moon that was going on right there, and just completely stopped it with one leg without even breaking a sweat. And this basically, counts to me as a planetary feat, because considering the fact that the moon was now at a greater gravitational pull and a greater heat resistance and flat out heat output than what the Earth was, considering it from what Fairy had done with his Adola burst, it should put the moon, like I said earlier, at a stronger just version of the Earth. So with that, it would put Shinra being able to stop the moon from falling. It should put him at around an attack, potency, or no, not attack potency, I'm sorry, destructive capability of at least planetary. And so basically, now getting into the fight, how it will really go off those small feats, I really think that in this fight, it doesn't really goes in Luffy's favor too often, to be honest with you. Now, I will be honest, I do believe, since Luffy does have durability negation with his Ryu, and I feel like Luffy is physically stronger. Now when it comes to like flat out just destructive capability hits, I feel like Shinra, as I have proven, should be relatively stronger than Luffy. But when it comes to just straight, hands, and I guess in Shinra's case, feet, I feel like Luffy is physically stronger, but that's about it. He might be more durable, but I would still argue Shinra is more durable, as we is also counted into Shinra is faster. Shinra should have more hacks, and honestly, it just doesn't really look like it goes in Luffy's favor at all, because the only thing I could see him trying to do is to use his Ryu to damage Shinra from the inside. But the only issue is, like I've already said, Shinra should have immeasurable speed. So the fact of Luffy and just the flat out attempt of him trying to even hit Shinra would really just go over my head, because I don't believe it would truly happen. Shinra is just way too fast for a character like Luffy, and he has way too much damage output for someone like Luffy to have. Even though Luffy is made out of rubber and he is a very durable person, you know, a couple good kicks from Shinra, or even if you take one of his, you know, fastest kicks being amped up, or even the kick that he used to stop the moon, that would pretty much put Luffy out, and that was a casual kick. So yeah, Shinra going full all out against Luffy, yeah, it would probably not go in Luffy's favor too much. But yeah, that's how I feel on the fight. Shinra wins mid diff, if you give it, if I'm being honest, and that's me giving Luffy the benefit of the doubt of Shinra just not flat out speed blitzing him and then just like almost one or two tapping him with some of his fastest and most powerful kicks. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will be dropping more videos soon. I feel like I'm gonna need to space my videos out a little bit more, probably a once a week type thing. Usually I was trying to do 2 a week, or it was like 2 a week, then 1 a week, then 2 a week. I think I'll switch the schedule to just strictly 1 a week until, you know, a more later date. But for now, that'll be the schedule. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.